all those.
But you don't like Gilmore Girls.
And I love Gilmore.
Another one. Another burger. But the carry is all in the front.
My name is Tomilola Coco.
And she can speak English.
I speak English, Yoruba, and I love Gilmore Girls.
They say if you want to make it in the creative world, you need a degree, a dream, and a whole lot of audacity. Well, today's guest has all three. A graduate of the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, she walked out of Ile-Ife with a bachelor's in dramatic arts and the sheer audacity to pursue writing as a career. She went on to find early success in Nollywood, building an impressive portfolio with credits on hit TV shows such as MTV Sugar, Indecent Affair, Man Pikin, amongst others, and even contributed to Nigeria's first feature-length animation, Lady Bucket and the Motley Monsters, which won Best Animation at the African Movie Academy Awards. Her debut novel, A Very Giddy Christmas, is a festive, feel-good romance set in Lagos. Today, she joins us to share the inspiration behind her second novel, A Nollywood Christmas. Please join me in welcoming the wonderful Tomilola Coco Adeyemo.
There are people who are also proudly picking them up because it validates the need for those stories to exist. Because, like, imagine if you're writing something and you're like, oh, I want to tell this kind of stories, and people are like, what is this? I just keep it moving. You know, like, it won't, because I did start writing love stories or romance because I thought that people were like queuing outside somewhere to buy it. I just thought those were the things that I wanted to like tell authentically. The things that I can stories. I tell all forms of stories, right? I'm a Nollywood screenwriter as well. I do other things, but like I wanted to also start telling stories that I felt comfortable with and the most authentic. I felt like if I write this thing, people will be like, nah, this girl knows what she's talking about. I think more than anything, that's valid. We should all tell love stories. As Adeyemo said, ours was we should all be feminists.
Tomilola Coco. On the Noisy Book Club podcast. She said
literary badging on the Noisy Book Club podcast. I say we should all tell love stories.
Hi everyone, my name is Benny and welcome back to the Best Book Club podcast. How does it feel? How does it feel to have a Nollywood Christmas out?
It feels good.
It does.
I was so debuts when you start the first time, you're nervous, you're not sure how people receive it, your first time author. In my own case, I was like an indie author, so I already kind of like had like a following, how very cute, small following, but they were like really nice and they used to support. But when you're going out there in mainstream, you start to think, how people receive it. It's a different thing when your loved ones and your friends and people who have been supporting you for years cash you up and say, well, you can really do this thing. It's a different thing when you're not like with the big guys, like playing in like the mainstream space. So, but by the time this one was coming out, I was already calmer at seeing, some things. I make it a point of note to not check reviews. Some people are bold, they'll tag you in negative reviews and everything. But like with that, I'd already got into that space where I was calmer and everything. I told like a story that I think was more me.
With this one?
Yeah, I wasn't like afraid of how it would be received. I wanted to take a risk. But that's how I am as a person.
But I mean, it's a Nollywood Christmas and you're a Nollywood baby.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't want to hold back. I didn't want to hold back, and because I'm like, afraid of would people receive this well? Would they not receive it? I was like, let's just go out there and do what you do and have his own life and all of that. So it was really exciting when it came out. People, Nigerians are supportive. Let me not lie to you. Like Nigerians are really supportive, and this is me who also works in Nollywood. I've seen people receive Nollywood titles, so like they'll say, we didn't like this thing, but they'll still support you and all of that. So Nigerians are very supportive. So once there's a mantra I have, like as a creative, as a writer, don't take your audience for granted, which is something I never do. So usually when people say, I didn't like this thing as much, I like this better, blah, 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 I take it in good faith. If it's something that I think I can work on, if it's something that I'm like, that's the story, there's nothing I can do about that. Hopefully you like the next one, then it's great. So it's been an amazing.
I'm so happy because you release a debut and you don't know what to expect. But with a sophomore, you're like, I've done these ropes before. How different is? Do you ever feel like you catch yourself comparing the process of writing and the process of releasing to A Very Giddy Christmas?
Yeah. But what I try not to do though is to get in my own head. It's a dangerous thing to do. I always advise like writers, or I always say that that's what I do. You don't also want to be saying, "Oh my God, what's my audience expecting? Let me put it inside." That's a slippery slope. You don't want to go there. So your audience, trust me, even when they don't sometimes like what you've done, they respect that you're doing it on your own steam. Like that's what you think you should be doing. So I try not to get in my head too much, but of course you'd always have those moments where you think, the first one did, pretty well. I hope this one will do better. Naturally, you would want that, So there'll be moments like that where that can almost like filter into like that space. But you just, as I said, try not to get into like your own head. But like, I think I wrote freer. Yeah, I think I wrote freer. I think that music really played a huge role in this one, a lot. The Tiwa Savage album came out. The most recent one came out at the time I was doing this, and like a lot of it, because Tiwa was at a point in her life where she was coming to terms with some things. She was confronting some emotions. She was singing full-grown woman, black, sexy woman music, right? So, and it's exactly what this main character, the main female character is. That's what she embodies.
I know.
So, yeah.
She's my girl. she's crazy sometimes, but she's my girl. Outside of, writing, what have you been getting up to?
Let's not say what I've really been getting up to.
Yes, please tell us.
I want to wink. Can I wink? So badly behaved on this podcast.
No.
I
If you're not badly behaved, anyway, badly behaved.
The last podcast I went, I behaved myself. I blame Benny.
No, our name is Noisy. Come on, be noisy.
Thank you. It's cool to be noisy here. So let me see. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm quite boring, but I like to explore like my other creative talents through like other means. So I absolutely a content producer. I also like write screenplays. I actually have a Valentine's Day film coming out. Not Valentine's Day, but Valentine's film coming out on tomorrow, 13th. Yeah, 13th of February. Tomorrow the day that they're recording this. Because by the time this comes out, the film will be out. Yeah, it starts in Badishi and Taya Armu, who are very, their favorites. I wrote the first one with them last year and it was going viral. It was called Never Far Away. Like, our channel was small, but like we have almost 2 million views, like in a very short time. Yeah.
And that's what happens when you have like people who can translate your stories really well for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Before we reach into Nollywood Christmas, there's something that probably started it. And what was your moment that you were just like, I'm gonna be a romance writer?
I've been writing since secondary school in the back of all this, because my mom is a teacher. She's a principal right now. She used to be a teacher in a government secondary school. And back in the day, I think in the 90s, Oyo State had this like free exercise book things where it was in 40 leaves and 60 leaves. So she used to have some of those books at home, and I'll take them and I'll start writing stories in them. It was maybe when I majored in playwriting that might have sent me people. I don't think it even really shocked them because we're all in Damascus at the end of the day. So like when I left school, I started writing, and I first there was something called Coco's Chronicles, which is
a diary.
sort of. My name Coco. The name Coco I use is from Coco Pops. It was given to me by an ex who at the time was the great love of my life. Just being funny, so he called me Coco Pops. Then by 2013 or 2014, I started thinking about fiction and all of that. So Ophelia of Okada Books, he was the CEO of Okada Books, he's a writer, he was a tech guy, he was trying to disrupt that space. He saw that something was missing. So he was reaching out to authors on different blogs at the time, because that's where authors of our generations were domiciled. And then he came to me and was very direct in his approach. Bring your stuff and put money on it. And I was like, huh? So he was like, nah, don't worry. Just go ahead and do what you need to do. So I published my first story. It was called The Reunion. And it was for free. At the time, I had a friend, Tony, who was like an incredible talent for drawing and, like painting and everything.
Oh, he was an artist.
Yeah. So he did my first book cover. And I paid him 10,000 naira at the time. Because he said, we're friends.
Big money, though.
It was, yeah. A cover was like of two people holding hands. Because it was reunion, secondary school type thing. They came back and fell in love. And he had over 3K downloads in a very short period. So I was like, ooh, people like romance. But I also still wanted to be taken seriously.
Did your chest jump?
Yes. So, but I still wanted to be taken seriously. And romance is not serious.
I'm fine.
I wasn't taken seriously. So I started writing other things. But I noticed that every time I wrote anything, because I was always blogging fiction, my audience, which I used to have, like my readers, I used to have like an instant feedback type thing, will always say, oh, this thing was so good, like it was passionate. So like I went online and I started checking. In fact, the very first screenshot I took of checking what romance was still on my phone. It was one of the things I saw when everyone was in that 2016 thing, and that was how I started. I was like, let me just lean into it. Then I started and it was just so popular. Then that was it, and then it just stuck. And I was like, at some point, I was growing into myself, and I was like, screw it, this is what I want to write. And that was just it.
Oh, I love it. I love that story. It's such a journey because it started with your ex, and then now you watch it to make money.
Same with my ex.
So Coco is not your parents not give you that name.
See the way you're saying it as if now, wow, Tomilola, you came to Lagos, you just changed identity.
Coco Pops. Oh my god, I can never look at you the same now. But it's fine. I look at you with respect. How did you navigate those two spaces? Because she's two very different people, in Ibadan and Lagos.
That's a very brilliant question, by the way.
I know.
I wanted her to be two different people in the sense of, I don't think this was intentional. Again, I was just telling a story. But this person has experienced something nasty, something so traumatic. She has said to live a life a certain way, and has defined her so much so that it's okay to not like Christmas. But then it starts, to beg the question of what exactly happened if you don't like Christmas because something traumatic happened to you on Christmas Day. So obviously, each of those cities represent two different things to her. Ibadan represents trauma. So it wasn't intentional, but obviously in telling the story as, truthfully and as authentically as possible, as realistically as possible. Naturally, those two cities will mean different things to her.
And that's the thing about Anu's siblings didn't understand that because she experienced the truth in isolation.
Yes.
So she kind of had to carry it in isolation. They knew a story, they knew a version of the story. She knew the authentic version of the story. And it's like, I wish she had given herself the chance to have spoken about the truth earlier, but it's also like, oh, believe me, and how it makes sense. So she kind of had to carry that. And she's the first daughter. Yeah, but I do have to ask now. Ty, on the other hand, he comes across as very grounded, very gentle, very family oriented. He's a man raised by a woman, as they would say. But he also has his own baggage. He has his own baggage, right? Even though he has a community that is really reaching out for him. How was it to create this person who would challenge Anu?
Ty, I wanted someone who was soft and tender, and I've met people like that. And family plays a huge role in who we become. Family is so important. So if you have a grounded childhood and there's love at home, as they say, there is no way you are except the devil that's possessed you. There's no way that when you come outside, you're not a good friend, a good lover, because you've experienced what it means to be kind, to be nice, to care. Yeah. So if you have good whatever at home, which is why when I write those people's parents, sometimes you see the religion angle, and it's on purpose because a lot of our parents and older people, that's where they learn some of those things from, and then they carry it on and everything. So it was important that it was modest and all of that for me. Yeah.
Oh, I really love the contrast. Because two of them have baggage, but you can see that Ty was given the opportunity by his family to deal with his baggage. So he comes up from it being able to face his baggage, being able to face everything, and then but Anu, who despite the success, she still hide because she didn't give herself the opportunity, and they also didn't. I also feel like her family didn't draw her in as much as they could have.
Did they really run from the trauma? Yeah, they didn't. Because the brother is hiding his own with church.
True. So
religion is what he's using to hide it. He's in church, he's a pastor and all of that, and he says, in fact, I have a theory.
What's it?
That after he reads, Danny says, this morning I was praying and the Holy Spirit dropped one verse in my mind. And then the verse was about healing. But Danny thought that the verse was for his sister, not for himself.
Not for himself, but it might be for him.
Well, it could have been for him. Because why do you think that if you're in the church because you feel the healing, who says the healing has
to be? It's not for you.
Yeah. So he received that word. That was him also being healed in December in Christmas period. That God is saying you need to heal. When he was no, I'm already. And
all of them are there, right? So why is the word not? I don't know.
But that's what I'm also saying. Because I come from a very religious family, right? It's very conservative. So I see that in church, I see that everywhere. It's why I said, if you go, it's a fantastic thing. You will be going because of the story you want to tell. The thing should be bringing back home goodies. It is in the human behavior. It is in how the problem is not God or a divine deity.
It's in relations.
Human beings now, we be the problem.
So stop saying it's the devil.
No.
Back to Anu now, and Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about sex,
Hey,
baby.
copyright, stop singing. Copyright, stop singing.
Sorry.
Stop singing. Thank you.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
I know she kind of frees herself, right? She frees herself by living in Ibadan, going to Lagos.
Yes.
And in turn, she also kind of finds sexual freedom, right? And I want to know how, as a writer, do you ensure that this freedom is portrayed as a part of her selfhood rather than only a reaction to trauma? Because yes, it is a reaction to, part of the thing. But while I was reading it, at the beginning, I wouldn't think that, like, it was later on that, okay, yes, this does make sense, but I like how it felt, that it felt like, this is just a babe who enjoys sex and who likes sex. And I like that. And I realized, how did you make sure to ensure that nothing else was tied to it for the most part?
I think that, earlier I was saying that sometimes some of the things that we do is as a result of something good, bad, traumatic, not traumatic, but sometimes they're just things that we also just do. There's no deep anything to it. So, like, as a person, Anu came to me as someone who enjoys sex. And then in the process, she started using that as an escape from things that she should confront, things that she was unwilling to confront because she was afraid of what that was going to do to her. So, like, I wanted to be able to find a good balance between that and that. Like, yes, it's okay as a grown woman to be comfortable in your own body, to be sensual, to love intimacy. I wanted to do that. But I also knew that this character was taking it to the point, because when you're doing character building, this is what happens. Benny has been Benny has a card carrying member or junior member of the Koyi Club because his parents used to be there, and he does this. He likes that. He likes sport cars. As you're writing, as you're doing create character design, sometimes it comes to you like, why does he like sport cars and not maybe some other type of cars?
What SUVs?
Why does exactly like why is he driving SUVs? Why doesn't he like SUVs? Why is he driving this kind of car? Right? When Benny is coming, so maybe you then say another story like try to create your character design, and then you say one day he's driving down the road and then he sees somebody who eats someone and the person drives off, but the first thing he does is he gets out of his car and he helps this person to the hospital. It takes a kind person to do that. So then you start to ask, why then is he this way? Then you start to think about it. Then maybe initially you'd said Benny's parents are like politicians. And then you know that in Nigeria, there's a way we look at politicians because of some of the things that many politicians do. So it begins to beg the question, so does he have kind parents? Was he taught kindness at home? Was it something he picked from outside? If you start talking about how Benny is, best friends with maybe some person who lives in like some of the mainland, like I don't know, maybe like one of those ghetto-ish type things, right? And
sorry.
Don't cancel us. So and then you like this person, someone he believes it takes that that like guys, he's not looking down on him, the relationship is very whatever, someone that he trusts and respects. Then the kids really ask a lot of, but he didn't even fucking meet in his world. What are the odds of meeting this person? Then you start to ask all those questions. And I think that's what it was for, and that's what led me there.
And these are things that might not even end up in the final product.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things when I'm reading like Nigerian stories is seeing like subversions of things that like happen, because it's like you rarely read stories where women are like brave enough to have sex, right? Because to cite another example is like Ifemelu from Americana. You can tell that she liked sex, right? You can tell that she liked sex, right? Yeah. And the one thing that I wanted to feel from her was to like have her just enjoy it. Have her just like enjoy it, but some other times it was tied to other things. The men that she was with, or the reason why she was using sex as a way to get back something, like go through something. So it's really fun and fresh.
Absolutely.
To be able to read sex for the sake of like just enjoying it.
Yeah, just enjoying it. Yeah.
Was there a moment in the book that gave you the hardest time where you struggled in its like revision or its shape,
I think so. There were heavy scenes. So I think you have to sympathize or just empathize with your characters now, especially when you write them in, really difficult situations. And like there were scenes that were easier to write, but like when Anu said to be confronted, it became heavy. You feel for her. And like I've gotten like this amazing feedback about this book when people talk about like you handled the trauma with so much care and sensitivity. And I'm so happy that it transcended from, my laptop all the way to you guys, and felt that it means that I've done my job well if people are telling me that. Because that was very important to me. I don't want people to look at her and be like, this baby is exasperated, but the process of healing is very exasperating. Even for the person healing, it's difficult. So I wanted to be able to do that well. So those moments were like sad. I know one of my oldest people that I've reading myself for a long time, she said to me in December, like, is it like you know somebody that this happened to? Or like you saw somebody that they experienced it firsthand? Because it was, and I'm guessing it's because of the depth of it. So those things were a bit difficult. With the religion part, I don't really hold back because that's my reality. And usually when I'm writing, I think the only one I think I was like a little bit whatever about was maybe when I was writing the manuscript for like my next book. And for that one, I was like, this one might be a bit, because that one is heavy on spirituality. And that one, I was making a case, period, for Isheshe, which is Yoruba spirituality. Some people say it encapsulates our entire way of living as Yoruba people. Because Yoruba people believe in the Ishe, the Asha. And Ishe is how we are, the way we live, how we do. Asha is culture. So, like, Isheshe is just what people use for Yoruba spirituality. Right? So, yeah. And that one, I was making a case for it, period. I was saying, this one is valued and is as important. And if you're not moving, go and worship. We don't worship Orishas, we worship Olodumare, but we revere our Orishas and everything. So go and meet your Orisha and go and start dealing with her and being tuned with her. That's the financial look at that one. So, but for this one, it's always because I grew up religious and I see all these things around me. And let's not lie, let's not steal. The church isn't really accepting of people like me. And it's not like I'm anything difficult to understand. It's just who I really am and the things that I really believe. The church is not necessarily accepting all those things. For instance, I was told when a very deep resource was coming out, I was a bit active in the church. I was telling the youth pastor, like, my book is coming out. And he said to me, I won't be reading it. But I was not done talking. And the reason I said to him wasn't because I wanted him to read it. I wasn't stupid. I was raised in the church. I knew he wasn't going to read my book. I knew they were going to disassociate from it. I was giving them a head start to dissociate from it. Because I knew that if it came out, they'd be like, this is sinful, you're glorifying this, you're glorifying that. No, I'm just telling the story. But I also don't want you guys to be ambushed by it. Because I was raised well. So I was like, oh, this is happening. And I was like, I'll be reading it, blah, blah, blah. Was talking about aspects of the same. Was asking me, like, what was in it? And I said, there are sex scenes. That's just certain. And, like, you had issues with it, right? So, like, that's where I'm coming from. So, I'm also not going to write religion from a preachy point of view. I write as nuanced as possible. And as I said earlier, as realistically as I, as an author, see it. So that I can't be like 5 to Lola Coco. One thing is certain, she will talk about people and how religion affects or doesn't affect them. She'll talk about spirituality and the religions of our fathers and spirit. Our fathers weren't practicing religion. It was more spirituality. So like the spirituality of our fathers, Sheshi and how they've abandoned it or what they're doing with it now. You will see like women will always fuck and they'll fuck good and they will like it.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much. There's so many more questions I want to ask, but
when we do part 2, I'm coming for the next book, and in the next book, I'm not leaving. I'll be coming back.
Let's play a quick game.
Alright, I love games.
You're a romance writer. So we're gonna play this or that game.
It's about to get steamy.
Tropes.
That's why the lights like this.
Yeah, so police have to dim the lights. Oh god. Okay. Fake dating, arranged marriage.
I didn't know the same thing.
No.
Both of them are still fake now. Fakely arranging it.
Fakely arranging. No.
Arranging
Arrange is real. Arrange is real, especially because it's coming from your parents more often than not.
And then you start
situation.
Like, this my husband is hot.
This
my
guy,
wife.
Why is she looking?
I'm not look at the ass.
I will not make her reach pinnacle today.
Should she
is it today?
Surmount the pinnacle?
Is it today that we
come down the edge of the cliff?
We reach the peak, the summit.
The summit of elevation.
And
then after a flower has bloomed,
I'm a garden tenderer. Peonies, dandelions, all
wet gardens.
I love water and hoses. Please.
Both to this or that point.
But sorry, fake dating.
I like fake dating.
I like fake dating because like then they realize that or the person that we're trying to make jealous at the end is fake destiny.
I think the reason I just like arranged marriage, the one reason I wouldn't even move towards it is that you're already in a confined space where you kind of like already like accepted whatever.
Oh my god!
But now you're like, oh, is this whatever with forever?
Oh my god, that awkward moment when they're like in the room alone and they're like.
It was so for historical like romance.
Historical. God, give me some Buccaneers. Okay. First proximity or second channel?
I realized I say writing second chance romances whether I like it or not. At some point I thought that I did that like quite often. Not just in book. But I saw I was reading it in film as well. Because they never for a reason I was talking to you about it on YouTube was second chance. So I think I'll pick that just because I just for some reason tend to gravitate towards it.
Yeah, I would say also second chance. First proximity is really cute. Like the one bed trope, like there's only one bed here, right? It's really cute. But the same thing about second chance where it's like you're exploring the layers of these people who are coming back to each other after such and such, you know.
Giving them like a clean slate.
Yeah.
Which is funny, in real life I'm a second chance person.
I am. I'm a third chance, fourth chance.
Wow.
I don't know.
Like
I think I don't love myself.
Walk around and find out.
That's the problem. Ooh. Do you carry a gun? Do I? On the next episode.
We'll find out. Keep it locked.
Okay, so forbidden romance or hidden identity?
Forbidden romance.
Actually, I don't lie.
Why are you identity? Did you escape jail?
Can I say something?
What?
I like forbidden romance when it's gay.
You know, I'm gonna write lesbian romance. I own this world.
Like, what do you mean? Like, two people have a rivalry and then they love each other?
There's a book I saw. It's one of those Oyibo people that wrote this. I haven't read it.
No.
Yeah.
She said Oyibo like a slur.
You know,
it's one of these Oyibo people.
Oyibo people are allowed to write the things that we haven't gotten the freedom to write just yet.
Yeah.
Like, by that I don't mean we can write it in trauma, but we haven't been. No one really gives you freedom. You take it, but we haven't completely taken the freedom to write it in our joy.
Yeah.
When A Regular Christmas came out, people were removing one star from my book because of the lesbian couple, and they didn't even get together in the book. They just connected. So I'm bringing them back because I don't care.
And I'll be there.
I'm bringing them back for Kasala. And this time around, I'm doing more lesbians. There'll be more lesbians. So I want to see like some gay stuff. Like that's what I wanted to see. That because like they exist, and if you're writing joy, and you want to again like the kind of stories I write, it's you said you start asking like, Tommy, you're a more aware writer, and your society has these things.
Yeah, right.
If the book does not go there, it's a different thing. Say maybe the story will reach that side. But the moment you start talking about some things, you have to also talk about some things. And for me, I feel like it's even easy to write lesbian romance in rich people's space because their kids get to escape easily. Yeah. So you can go to America and be living
that is the butter honey big bread. Okay, last one. I already know the answer to this one. Small town or mafia romance? Mafia dark romance.
Why did you throw in dark there? There was no dark in
small town or mafia?
Because I just go to mafia dark romance straight up because I love dark romance. I'm actually going to start writing on a pseudonym for my eroticas, my dark eroticas, because I love.
So nobody will know that it's Coco.
Because I just have to start preserving my legacy.
All means with your cherries.
So like, I mean, they will know it's Misha. It's definitely going to be like, a lot of writers do that where they have but you know it's them. It's just they are categorized in the books. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to writing some eroticas. Dark. I read Sugar Daddy Chronicles. My girlies loved it. God, I love Nigerian women. But I think I'll go with I like small town romance.
No, I don't.
Did you think that's what I was going to say?
I thought you said dark romance actually.
No, I love dark romance. I'm picking dark romance. 100%. Okay. But like, I didn't. How do I want to say it? I started to fall in love with dark small town romance because of all those high school shows we watched in America. So like One Tree Hill, I watched One Tree Hill. Then when I watched the Vampire Diaries, all those.
But you don't like Gilmore Girls?
I love Gilmore.
Another one, another burger. But it carries all in the front.
My name is Tomilola Coco.
And she can speak English.
I speak English, Yoruba, and I love Gilmore Girls.
Liar.
But so small town romances are. I grew into liking them because it's I like anything contained. You know what we're talking about, first proximity. Yeah. So when it's contained, small, whatever, you get to be modest about it. The reason it's difficult to write it in Nigeria is because of how once we leave the big cities, looks like we looked down on the smaller ones.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up in Lagos, I grew up in Ibadan. Ibadan is not a small town by
No, it's not.
by a
It's
mile.
not.
But it has you know,
It has the feel of a small
some
town.
elements of small town where you can do it in a contained sense, which is why I run there every time I want to write. And if you're like of a certain background in Ibadan, the likelihood that you people know yourselves, even if it's just like by extension or someone knows someone.
What's here in that like Bodija, Mokola area?
I grew up in Ring Road. Some of the people that I went to uni with were friends with people that I'd known since I was in primary school or secondary school. So I think you guys will have mutuals and stuff. So yeah, absolutely. So
Thank you for answering. Now everybody knows your secrets.
thank you.
I can't wait to have you back.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to randomly one day just be like, Tommy, I'm at Ziggy's, let's get drinks.
Let's get drinks.
And then we'll just cause kasala.
We'll be there for like 2 hours.
Like 2
That's
hours.
the problem.
Yeah, I loved Nollywood Christmas. I loved reading it, experiencing your work, and I'm so excited for Kasala and Effen's Jazz.
Ooh, I'm so excited for them
Yeah.
too.
Thank you so much. Tommy, tell us, where can we find you?
That's Tomilola Coco on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter.
Thank you so much. Thank
I
you
had so much
Thank
fun.
you so much, Tommy, actually.
I had so much fun. I'm serious. I had so much
We're
fun.
like bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
these are really good, brilliant, amazing work you're doing.
we are the Noisy Book Club on Instagram, the Noisy Book Club on TikTok, and we are Noisy_Book Club on Twitter, formerly known as X. Anywho, this has been a great episode. Thank you to our producers for the show. Thank you to Noisy Streets, and we love you. See you soon.